Hello, District 126 community. I am Dr. Jesse Rodriguez, the proud superintendent of District 126.
And I am Dr. Chris Pavelchik, the principal of Zion Benton Township High School.
And I'm Mr. Chris Kubik, principal at New Tech.
This video will explain how we are redefining the District 126 experience based on the proposal that the Board of Education approved for the interactive remote learning plan that we will use to open the upcoming school year. Reopening our schools will be a complex and challenging process. We have taken the utmost care to protect the safety of our students, families, and educators while striving to provide the balance of rigor and support that will best serve our learners. We developed some guiding principles for reopening. Here you can see the principles that guided our planning process. These principles come from best practice in the field, collaborating with other educational experts and professionals, and feedback from our students, staff, families, and other community members. We believe that the health and safety of all students is our first and most important priority. We also believe in intentional instructional delivery. We have adopted a primary focus for District 126, and the primary focus centers on safety awareness while we have continuity in education. Our two priorities can be achieved at the same time. We are confident that our plan will preserve the health and safety of our students, staff, and community while maintaining our commitment to providing an education that centers on active engagement, rigorous instruction, and intentional support systems for our students. We also developed a reopening instructional model. We are adopting the instructional model that you see here. It is an interactive remote learning plan. I will emphasize interactive as we are looking for interaction between students and families, students and teachers, administrators and teachers. We are scheduled to have our classes utilizing Zoom. We're also utilizing other learning systems such as Canvas for Zion Benton Township High School and Echo for New Tech, along with other online resources from our instructional staff. These plans allows for the structure, support, and in-person interaction that is necessary for supporting our learning, while coordinating that interaction in such a way that preserves the safety of our staff and students. I am proud to turn it over to our two principals who will provide us with some of the details in making sure that we can effectively implement our instructional learning plan for the upcoming school year.
When we think of safety, we know that social distancing and proper use of PPE helps to prevent the spread of COVID. We simply cannot maintain the social distancing guidelines and appropriate use of PPE with hundreds of people on our campuses. It is not logistically or operationally sustainable to have hundreds of students in our buildings at one time, and when the inevitable case does occur, it will likely become instructionally unsustainable because we would have to shut down, causing a significant disruption to learning. To clarify, we are not saying that it's not safe to come in to our buildings. We are saying that it is not safe to bring hundreds of people at one time into our buildings. With cases rising nationally, statewide, and locally, and an increased risk in communities with demographics like ours, we cannot in good conscience invite very large numbers of students and staff to come into an environment that we cannot keep safe for everyone. Here, you can see some of the other considerations that led to this decision to move to a full remote model. Online instruction will be mostly synchronous, which will provide the structure that is both developmentally appropriate and more conducive to consistent student engagement. This synchronous online instruction will be supplemented by virtual office hours and coordinated communication from teachers and support staff. You can see some of the advantages of this plan. We have taken the lessons from our last remote learning experience and enhanced our model to add the structure and support that was missing in the spring of 2020. This remote learning experience will be more effective than it was in the spring. Here are the actual schedules, so students and staff can see what each day will actually look like. The day starts with staff time to coordinate with teammates, colleagues, to get things ready for the day. Students, you will need to be up and checked into your first class by 8:30 a.m., Monday through Thursday. Note that the periods are different each day, and each class period meets twice a week. There's a 15-minute break between classes, and instruction ends at 12:15 every day. Students can come into the building if they need a quiet place to work or if they need to use our internet. That will be provided in our larger areas like our cafeterias.
After instruction ends, there's a time for a break and travel. During this time, we will run buses so students can come to school for the in-person options. In-person office hours will begin at 1 p.m. and we'll schedule it so not all of the teachers will be in the buildings at the same time. Some, Group A, will come on Mondays and Wednesdays, and others, Group B, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If students do not come in for office hours, they should be working independently based on the instruction that occurred earlier. Fridays, staff will have online office hours in the morning, as well as time to work together to coordinate contact with families. Then they'll have professional development time in the afternoon. Students can do the online office hours in the morning and then continue their independent work on Fridays. You can also see on the slide that the ZB and New Tech schedules are mostly the same. The order of periods is a little different, and the start time is a little bit different, but they're largely the same. Again, we acknowledge that remote learning is no substitute for in-person learning. As stated earlier, there's just no way to do that in-person learning safely with hundreds of students. Additional support that was missing last spring comes in part from the synchronicity and the structure that you saw in the schedule earlier, and also from adding scheduled in-person office hours for additional support. Remember, students can also come to the building during instruction in the morning. They will not be sitting in front of their teachers, but they can access some of our larger areas for a quiet environment or to use our Wi-Fi. On this slide, you can see some of the supports that will be available for all students and for some populations of students. On this slide, you can see the services that will be provided in person and some of the safety measures we'll take when that in-person interaction occurs. We do want to emphasize that our school buildings will be open daily. While daily instruction will occur remotely each morning, in-person supports for students will be available as needed in the buildings. We will coordinate those in such a way that the amount of people in any building at one time will be minimal. This will allow the in-person interactions to occur in larger spaces that facilitate social distancing. We will provide bus service daily with regular routes around the Zion-Benton community to ensure that transportation to school is not a barrier for our students. The district will strive to provide a safer environment in our schools by increasing regular cleanings, providing hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes in each classroom and office, implementing the use of electrostatic antiviral sprayers, and instituting more regular comprehensive deep cleanings. On this slide are more steps that we'll take to ensure the safety of those who do come into our buildings. Everyone, staff, students, and visitors must wear a mask and practice social distancing while on school property. Staff will be trained in new health and safety protocols, and we will establish new patterns and procedures for entry, exit, and movement within the buildings, which we will communicate to students, parents, and visitors. I'll turn it back over to Dr. Rodriguez for information about next steps toward making this plan a reality.
Thank you. The purpose of this video is to ensure that we provide an initial overview of the plan we're moving forward to open the school year. A more comprehensive document with the specific details is available in our website, and it will be distributed to all families and also all staff members. Over the next several weeks, there are a number of steps that we need to take in order to implement this plan effectively. We need to develop instructional and operational plans. We will also need to collaborate with our foundational schools, community organizations, and other partners. We need to create ongoing communication strategies for parents and staff. Develop a web page with information about the reopening plan. We also look forward to schedule a virtual town hall meeting in the month of August for staff members, also community members, parents, and students. Provide monthly interactive remote learning updates to the Board of Education, and also continue to proactively prepare for the second quarter and second semester. It is important to note that our plan is to reopen the schools, and it is a plan for the first 9 weeks of school. I am proud, I am grateful for the efforts of our administration, staff, family, students, and community members that help make this plan a reality. I am proud to be the superintendent working with an excellent group of administrators, a supportive board member, really entirely focused on making sure that we create the best possible conditions for all students in our district. These are challenging times, and we will rise to that challenge together as one Zion Benton community. Thank you.